Welcome to the Aftermat. We are back, your source for WWE pay-per-view recaps. I'm your host, the People's Champ Cal, and alongside me, as always, I have my tag team partner, the Glamazon, Delisha. Hey, Delisha.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And hopefully we can complete our stable. We're gonna hope Eric can join us. I know he's got his sister's wedding coming up and all that, so he's doing a lot of planning for that. So if he can join us, we'll see. You guys will see him on here. If not, we'll see him next week, hopefully. Oh, Spencer just liked my tweet. That's funny. Sorry guys, that's some other thing that Delisha knows what we're talking about. All right. So last night we had SummerSlam, and thanks to Delisha, I was able to watch it. And I thought it was a great show overall, in my opinion. But before we get to that, we have something to talk about. I got to hang out with Delisha and Joe, our fact checker, and we got to meet our friend Morgan from the UK and my friend Raj, whose birthday was. We got to take him out and go see the NXT pay-per-view. I mean, like, I've never been to an NXT pay-per-view, and I know Delisha herself, she'll tell you in a minute. She's never really been to any WWE like live event pay-per-views or anything like that. So it was like special for her as well. But like, I've never been to NXT, and I know Delisha watches that like religiously and stuff. She knows like the wrestlers and the backstories and all that. I just usually just watch the takeovers. But going there like and seeing it was such a fun experience because it's like those really hardcore fans. We can talk about it in a little bit about how we feel about it. What's going on, Septa, in the chat?
So,
But like, so how'd you feel just your experience? Not that pay per view yet, but how'd you feel about just going to WWE live event and all that? Like the back, how'd you feel about all that, Felicia?
that was really fun, just from like being outside in line in the crowd with people dressed up as like their favorite wrestler, and just random chants going on in the line while we were waiting for the doors open. That was just so much fun, and then getting to take pictures with you guys, just hanging out with you guys in general. That was like totally a lot of fun. And like you said, this was my first WWE event ever live going to, and now I just want to go to them all now.
Oh, so Septa is Joe. Okay, so that's Joe. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, and then we got to wear AfterMat shirts. I wish I could have put the pictures up, but I was, as you guys know, at least Delisha knows, I was extremely busy this weekend. I still am until tonight, and then tomorrow I'll be more free. So maybe on the next episode of AfterMat, I can put up the pictures of all of us. But yeah, it was really fun. We got to take pictures, and then the event, like, I don't think any match really disappointed us. Like, I think we had a good time. Like, every match was like action packed, great back and forths. Even like though some other people didn't win, like, I think there were still awesome matches. Like, I didn't have any complaints about any of the matches. I mean, besides some people winning that I didn't want to win, but still, it was still a good pay per view. And the only thing I had to say is, like, if I wasn't like, I'm not like a crazy super wrestling fan. I think I am, but like, I don't follow like every single brand. Like, like New Japan, I might watch once in a while. I don't think I've ever watched Ring of Honor. So like, if you guys probably already know by now, like, a lot of people from Ring of Honor, like the Red Dragon tag team, and then Adam Cole, they interfered in two of the different matches during the takeover pay per view, and like when everyone got excited, I was like excited that these people are coming out, but I had no idea who they were. So like, I wasn't, since I don't watch NXT religiously, I didn't know if they were like just NXT guys interfering in the match. But then from everyone, the crowd telling us that it was like all the people from other like organizations coming or brands coming in and not invading, but I guess they signed a new contract with WWE, so now they're going to NXT first. So I guess that's if I was like, if it was like back in the day when it just was WCW, ECW, and WWE or WWF back then, I understood, like, when I saw like somebody come from WCW to WWF or WWE or the vice versa, I understood it because like I was following all those. I knew like when someone jumped ship, that was a big story. Now when they come from these smaller, I don't want to say smaller organizations, but lesser known organizations, it was hard for me to follow the story. How did you feel about it? Because I think you were in the same boat, right? You didn't know who some of these people were that were coming.
Yeah, I was in the same boat because I don't watch. Actually, I'm not even actually sure how to watch Ring of Honor or New Japan. I guess I should just look it up and find out. But yeah, I was in the same boat. I didn't know who they were, but I can tell they were very popular because even before the event started, a lot of people were shouting like the Adam Cole baby chant that I guess he started or started in Ring of Honor, and there a lot of people were wearing his shirt. So maybe there was something in like the wrestling news, which I don't read because I like to still be a fan and be surprised. So I guess a lot of people might have already known he got signed, and that's why they just anticipated him showing up. But it was really the reason why I was excited because like everyone in the cast didn't know who he was, so I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Someone that everyone knows, well, that everyone knows is coming into NXT, and they're really excited. That got me excited. And then seeing them like attack McIntyre and the Authors of Pain and Sanity, and seeing them like attack them was pretty cool. So I was like, oh, I gotta watch NXT and see what the fallout. Well, not this week, but next week to see what the fallout's gonna be and see how all this goes.
Yeah, like
That's how I look at it.
I feel like a lot of the people really I didn't really know what was going on with Adam. Like Adam Cole's the only reason I heard Adam Cole's name besides seeing the shirts around when we went, I didn't know if he was already an NXT guy, but I saw like I was reading a report about Bayley's like her injury or something. If it was like how long she'd be out for, and one of the like other headlines, smaller like the lesser subtitle headlines was like Adam Cole getting near a WWE deal, and I didn't know what that meant. Like I didn't know who that was. At first I thought like Adam Cole's like related to Michael Cole and like he might be another announcer or something like that. I had no idea who he was. And then it was like, then I saw something about him being like the hottest free agent. So I'm like, oh, I guess he's a wrestler then. And so it was cool. And like, I guess one of the cool highlights of the night was at the end after I guess the show already went off air. So we saw this, but the people who were watching the pay-per-view did not see it. Was when like Adam Cole like got to the top of the ramp next to those other two guys. And he raised up his hands and he said, Adam Cole, baby. And like the whole arena did it at the same time. Like they knew it. Like it was like pretty much everyone knew it there. So that was a pretty cool moment. So that, I mean, we're not really gonna talk about the pay-per-view, the NXT pay-per-view, but I think we had a good time. I think it was awesome. Every match was awesome.
It kind of reminded me of when Shinsuke and then Finn Balor showed up. Because I didn't really know who they were, but people like around me or like in the social media was like really excited, like, "Oh, Crow, this is so great!" And I was like, "I don't know who these people are," but once they got to NXT and they got to show what they were doing, I was like, "Oh, I get it now." So hopefully they have that same success in NXT, and I can understand what made him so popular.
So as you guys know, Joe is our fact checker, and he's actually in the chat telling us right now that, well, first of all, he likes to say that he had a great experience to take over. He really enjoyed it. And the other thing he's telling us that those three, like the people from the Red Dragon, the tag team, the Red Dragon, as well as Adam Cole, were like Ring of Honor's version of the Bullet Club. So from what he's read, so that's pretty cool. I guess maybe eventually we'll have like a faction battle where they assemble the Bullet Club again when they get to WWE, and then they can fight against this fake Bullet Club, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you want to call it, but whatever they're gonna end up calling it, they'll fight them, and that'll be cool. And then like I always like those faction battles, like because the last time I went to pay-per-view before this was I think Extreme Rules, and that's when I saw the Shield fight Evolution when the Evolution returned, fight Evolution. So I love seeing those like faction battles, like that's always cool for me. So yeah, that was pretty much it for Takeover. We had a great time. I suggest like if you can't like afford to go to a real like pay-per-view, because like we said, the same seats that we sat in for Takeover the next night for SummerSlam were 10 times as expensive. So like we paid like I think $80 to go for like we had really good seats. We were like on the lower section, not the floor level, but just right above it. We had great seats like on the camera side, so you could see us maybe on camera. And those same seats were $800 the next day for SummerSlam. So if you really want to go to a WWE event, go to NXT, man. Like it's less money and it's great experience, if not better sometimes. NXT we had a great time, so we really suggest that. I know I'm in a time crunch today, so we're gonna go to SummerSlam now. Well, I think we should just skip through the pre. I'll just tell you who won the pre-show. I don't know if like I have anything really much to say about it. If you have anything to chime in, but we'll mention we're talking about SummerSlam 2017, which is the first. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, so only the last match. I had feelings.
Okay. It was the first combined pay-per-view since the Superstar Shakeup. So this is the first time you'll see a Raw brand and SmackDown on a combined pay-per-view. After the Superstar Shakeup. So the first match was the Miz and the Mr. Raj versus the Jason Jordan and the Hardy Boys. This is a good match. I'm liking all the tag team matches lately, because we've had a whole stagnant period where the tag team division was terrible. Wasn't really anything going on, and like I feel like it's revitalizing now, so I'm enjoying that. The Miz hit the skull crushing finale on Jordan to win. The next match was for the Cruiserweight title, which was Akira Tozawa champion versus Neville. So it's a rematch from when Neville lost on Raw. Neville ends up winning it. The final match of the pre-show was the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the New Day versus the Usos, and I love this match. It was a great match. There's awesome double team spots. Like there's so many crazy moments like that. The double team spots are great, seeing it from both sides. And basically the Usos won by hitting several super kicks on Big E. And then they did a double splash, one from each turnbuckle. I didn't even think Big E was a legal man, so that's one thing I had to note about that. But Delisha, what did you want to say about the match? So the Usos are the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, as far as the pre-shows, that was the best match of the three. I really, like you said, I really like the back and forth between the teams. Like you were like emotional. That was like emotional through the match. Like, oh my goodness, you didn't know who was going to win, or who they was going to retain, or if Usos were going to get the belts back. And the fact that they got the back, I was like, I'm not even mad at it. I'm just mad that it wasn't on the main show because that was a really great match. But I right now is one of my favorite matches of the whole night.
I remember going to WrestleMania 20, it was, or maybe it was 20, I think, and this is before they started. They had pre-shows, but they didn't really do it for that time. It was just like a 6-hour long show, and it was just so long. So I guess it feels the same way whether it being a pre-show or not, because you know when it switches over, but like it still feels the same like length. So I don't know. I guess they could have just made it a whole 6 hours. SummerSlam, I guess they didn't want to do that because now they want to promote the pre-show and say like, oh, you guys should tune in time or like order WWE Network or all that kind of stuff. So they got to do that. So that's when they get the commercials in. But yeah. And Joe saying, I hope it doesn't turn the tag team titles into hot potatoes where they keep moving around, kind of like how we saw with AJ Styles and Kevin Owens before this final like clash that they had just now. They kept back, forth. So I hope it's not like that, just like the New Day and Usos are doing. But great match, good pre-show overall. The first match was Baron Corbin versus John Cena. Corbin basically was going off. Cena cost him his Money in the Bank. Baron Corbin cashed the Money in the Bank on the previous SmackDown Live, and Cena distracted him, got Jinder Mahal to get the roll up, and he wasted his SmackDown Money in the Bank men's title, whatever you call it, men's briefcase. So he wanted revenge. Pretty good back and forth action. It wasn't really like that great. I was kind of seeing Cena not being in his normal form. Like I don't know what it was, but eventually Cena hits an attitude adjustment and wins. I didn't really have any notes about this match. Like I watched it. I have all these notes, but like I have nothing jumped off the page to me. So yeah. You have anything to say about this match?
Nope. My only notes were okay match and Cena did what he could.
Yeah.
Where's your briefcase?
Yes, that was great. They said that the night we went to, so that was cool. The next match was the SmackDown Women's Championship match with Naomi as a champion against Natalya. And like this is what I've always been saying about the women's division. This match was awesome. I loved it. Like I was not really a big fan of Naomi. I like her, but I'm not like, she's not one of the people I really cheer for. But seeing the moves she broke out in this match, I don't know if she always does them because I don't watch enough SmackDown. I fast forward through SmackDown, but like, and I fast forward through Raw, but like, I've never seen her do these moves and then in the pay-per-view matches either. Maybe because it wasn't the people she used to work with. I was like Lana, who is not really as good, like technically as like good as Natalya. So maybe that's why. But the moves that Naomi pulled out this match, like these are the women's matches I want to see. Like remember, I've been disappointed lately by like the Fatal 5-Ways they've been having and the Money in the Bank. I feel like if you put too many of them together, they don't mesh well. I think a triple threat is what the most they should do. Because that's when we had that Sasha, Bayley, and Charlotte match. Sasha, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte match, and that was great too. So I think 2 to 3 wrestlers for them is good. Like when they got too much, it's like they got to knock people out for like half the match. And then 2 people come in, they fight, they get knocked out. Then 2 more people come, and it's not always good. So like this was a great back and forth action. Naomi showed off her technical prowess. Like she can fight like move for move with Natalya, who's also one of the most technically sound on the women's roster for SmackDown until Charlotte came, obviously. And just the high flying moves she had, like the speed and the like agility, the moves that she showed, and Natalya showed off her power. So what did you think of this match?
I thought it was a really good match. I've expressed it before. I haven't been happy with what they've been doing with Natty over the last probably like 5 years, but now I'm interested to see what they do with her. And I'm really glad that she's able to keep it for more than 3 seconds. So hopefully she doesn't have a Talazawa situation, and then she can just be able to be the Natalya that we've known when she somewhat first started, and able to show a little dominance and be good.
Yeah, so Natalya locked her into a sharpshooter, and it was a cool way that Naomi got out the first time by doing a roll through and sending Natalya in headfirst into turnbuckle. We've seen a lot of that lately. But then Naomi went for a split-legged moonsault, which Natalya countered. Natalya put her on a second sharpshooter, and Naomi tapped. And Natalya's your new women's champion, SmackDown Women's Champion. So that was really cool to see. I really do hope she holds it for a little while, if not past the next pay-per-view, SmackDown. I don't know which one it's going to be, but at least the Survivor Series, if not to Royal Rumble. I'd like to see her go into Royal Rumble with the championship as well. That would be pretty cool to see. I want to see her hold for a while. The next match was Big Show versus Big Cass, so the Battle of the Bigs, I guess they want to call it, with Enzo Amore hanging from a shark cage. I don't even know why they do that. This is just like a slow match. Like, I love the Big Show. He lost a lot of weight. He's more, I wish they just put him into a good like feud. This is a stupid feud, just like to like build up Big Cass, I guess it is. So I didn't really enjoy it. There's nothing really to say about this match. It's like just slow moving, some slams, a lot of boots, a lot of chops, stuff like that. And the spot of the match, supposed to be the spot of the match, was when Enzo took off his clothes and used oil to slick through the cage. I thought he was just gonna escape. I thought he'd have like a little bobby pin or something in his hair, and then he'd pick the lock. But he got through the cage, and then he jumped out. Okay, so Joe is saying, I know Enzo is not having a good backstage what do you call it, reputation, but what Joe is saying is that they put him in the shark cage for not having a good reputation and because he's afraid of heights. So that's kind of like bullying. I don't know, the whole anti-bully campaign. I don't know that's kind of messed up. So so he gets through. He does it. I thought he was gonna jump onto Cass, which he doesn't. He just jumps down and gets booted right away. Then Big Show gets booted, and then he gets the Empire Elbow and gets the pin. So Big Cass wins that. Anything to say about that match?
Can we just put Enzo on 205 already and be done with it?
Into what?
I was like, can we just put him on 205 as the rumors have been going and just be done with it? Because this doesn't do anything for Cass, Enzo, or Big Show.
Yeah, pretty stupid. They should make a power like squad between like Big Show and Big Cass. They could have like them as a tag team and take over a division. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, it was pretty stupid. The next match, I predicted how this match was gonna go. We had Randy Orton versus Rusev. Rusev jumps Randy Orton during the entrance, and then once the match starts, Randy Orton hits an RKO out of nowhere and picks up the pin. That's about it. I knew that was gonna happen. I was gonna be like, I didn't want to ruin it for you because I knew it was a little bit ahead of you. I was gonna say, here's what I think is gonna happen, but then like it happened right away, and I was like, I don't want to say anything because I don't know how far she is into the match. So yeah, it was pretty awful. I don't know, anything to say about that?
Yeah, before I could even like type out their names on my notes, the match was over. And I was like, oh well, that was all right. It was the match that didn't even need to happen. I don't know. I'm just like right now. I'm just so over Orton right now. I haven't liked anything they've done with him like in the last couple of years. I'm done with it. I'm done with him for right now.
Yeah, I think he should get some time off and maybe come back to a Royal Rumble. Like those like names like that always get a bigger pop when they come back at the Royal Rumble. Stuff like that. But Joe's saying he thinks that feud's gonna continue. It has to because they're not gonna just end it just like that. But yeah, he agrees that Orton is getting stale. Here's the rematch for my heart again. Now the next match is the Raw Women's Championship with Little Miss Bliss, because I can't say her name because my echo was going off all during out the match. Against Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss. Okay, didn't do it. So the match started out with a little brawl, and Alexa was able to take control using her technical skill. And she used a lot of double knees. I've been seeing a lot of knees lately, so that was pretty cool. I'm trying to think of anything that happened on the notes.
She did the twisted foot?
Yeah, no, I'm not up to that. I'm getting up to that. So Sasha was able to take control after a while and used her knees to keep the momentum. And then Bliss threw Sasha out of the ring, which injured her arm technically. And then she kept working on the arm. I think Sasha put him to a bag statement, but she counted out of it because she worked on that. She reworked her injured arm. Then she hit the twisted Bliss, but Sasha kicked out. Sasha put her another blocks bank statement and then used the injury to get out again. But then Sasha locked it in again, and Sasha caused Alexa to tap. So now Alexa has won, and now Sasha has won, and she's a new women's champion for the 4th time, I think it is. So her championships have been jumping. I'm guessing it was supposed to go to Bayley, but now this might start the feud with her and Bayley after Alexa gets her rematch clause, I guess. But then I guess maybe at Survivor Series we'll see Sasha versus Bayley. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't read the reports on how long Bayley might be out, but that could be a possibility. If not, it would probably be like Team Sasha versus Team Bliss or something like that on like a 5-on-5 Survivor Series match or something like that.
Oh yeah, so I mean, yeah, so yeah, Joe verified that it was the 4th time that she's a champion. I mean, I think it was. I really like the SmackDown Women's match better, but still, like I love seeing these two, so it was good to see. And I know Alexa will get a second chance at this at the next pay-per-view, which is No Mercy for the Raw brand. So we'll see a rematch, and maybe Bayley will get involved. I don't know, but I'm seeing Bayley probably going to get the next title shot after the rematch clause is invoked. Any thoughts about that?
I Yeah, hopefully they just kind of reinvigorate Bailey's character because it's pretty stale and the fans have started to turn on her, which is kind of sad because she's a pretty good performer, but she can only do so much with what the writers give her. As far as that, I would like to see Sasha go back to being a heel. She does some of her best mic work as a heel, and Alexa Bliss can just keep being the great 5 feet of fear that she is. She's just doing so great, with her character that it's always great to see her on the ring in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and like Joe mentions that the promo for No Mercy is Alexa Bliss, so that was pretty cool to see. I like that thing. That was awesome. So I want to see. I like seeing these two perform together. I don't really see anyone else. I mean, Nia Jax would be cool to add in too. So we'll see what happens with that. Like I feel like Nia Jax, Sasha, and Alexa Bliss are the oh damn it are the names.
I didn't catch that.
Stop. Are the names that are in the running right now. I don't feel like anybody else in the Raw division that I can think of that are in the running for the title. But yeah, I think Bayley's injury did prolong Sasha's heel turn. Sasha needs to turn back to being a heel because everyone loved her as a heel. Because I feel like some of the fans are turning back on Alexa too. I mean, turning back on Sasha too. So, the next match was the Demon King, Finn Balor. So he actually came out as a demon against Bray Wyatt, and this is like a mind games match. So it was pretty cool seeing like when it first started out, like Finn Balor's crawling around the ring. I was half expecting Bray Wyatt just to turn around and do the flip, so they both crawled like he would walk backwards and Finn Balor would crawl forwards and just be like a mind game thing. But it was only Finn Balor crawling around. But this is a cool match. Balor had a lot of high flying attacks, and like caused Bray Wyatt to kind of run away. He's kind of getting to Bray's head. Then Bray was using like power moves to take control, and he went for Sister Abigail a few times. There's a cool moment where he countered Sister Abigail, threw Bray on the ground, and then did a double stomp, like kind of his finishing move, but right from the regular ground, not from the top rope. He hit a sling blade a few times, but then got big booted. They fought out to the outside, but Balor once again used mind games. He also even came out to like he's got the whole world in his hands. So there's a lot of mind games involved. I'd like to see this feud keep going on. Finn hit another sling blade, which he followed up with a coup de grace and got the victory. It was a pretty good match. It wasn't like exceptional, but it was fun to watch. Like I don't know, what do you think of this match?
Yeah, I really thought they were putting on some good psychology against each other, which kind of worked for their characters or Finn's demon persona. But just the things leading up to the promos leading up to this match didn't really get me excited. So I really didn't care. But I did write down my notes that I love the psychology these two keep going back and forth. And I just don't really care about the feud.
Yeah, and I think this was a lot cooler than the WrestleMania match, I think, against Orton, where they tried to use mind games by using the video camera on top to make the ring mat look like bugs and dirt and all that stuff. And then like the referee would run out of the ring like, oh, Michelle Boyd liked it too. Like roll out of the ring and all that. I think that was stupid. Just the looks that they gave each other and like the crawling and all that and the music being played like different, like that I felt like, like Balor like coming out of like a move and like just looking like really mean and like the demon thing, like that was better mind game than using video graphics or anything to do anything. Or the House of Horrors or anything like that. Just the ring acting themselves, I think, is what happened. What made this match the psychological match that I enjoyed.
Yeah, I think it suited them to versus whatever they tried to do with Orton and him. But for them, this type of psychology and trying to get in each other's head fit them.
So I'd really like to see this feud continue. I hope it doesn't end. I hope they work better promos up to that, like as in like more psychological things. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel like Bray Wyatt's kind of falling off now because no one's really thinking about him anymore. So I hope he stays around because he's a good character.
Yeah.
The next match was the Raw men's tag team, Sheamus and Cesaro versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. I mean, I could care less about Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose getting back together as a tag team. I wasn't thrilled about it. I love Sheamus and Cesaro. Like I said, this tag team division has been great. And they both started out really well, the match, because like they both had quick tags on both sides, great double team maneuvers. The way that the Sheamus and Cesaro got the upper hand is because Sheamus hit a brogue kick on Ambrose, which leveled him out, which had Rollins by himself against Sheamus and Cesaro. And they kind of cut the ring in half, and they took it out on Ambrose. He kept hitting double team moves. Ambrose finally got back into the ring and got up and just jumped off the top rope, knocked out the champs with the the cross body block. This allowed Rollins later to tag in Ambrose, and he came in the ring and just turned the tides by like getting all this momentum. They hit a bunch of double team maneuvers and almost got the pinfall, but once again were saved by Cesaro. Sheamus saved by Cesaro. Sheamus and Cesaro used a lot of cheap tactics for like pushing the referee and like making him turn around and stuff and hitting double team moves, but they couldn't win. Rollins came back in after a tag and he had a flurry of attacks, like crazy kicks, and he did this move. I don't know what his finishing move is called, but the flying knee or whatever that is. And then Ambrose hit the dirty deeds. But like another cool thing right before that is they had that double team move off that, like, you know, like I think they're going for like the white cross with Sheamus jumping, and Sheamus had the white cross. I think Cesaro jumps off and like pile drives him down or something, whatever it's supposed to do. But instead, Rollins jumped up on the rope, like kicked Sheamus off, and then like hit Cesaro. It was, I don't know, some crazy double team maneuver that they had. Like it was really cool. And then that's when Ambrose got the double arm DDT or whatever you call it, the double dirty deeds, and got the pin. So now Rollins and Ambrose, the tag team champions. I don't see how much that's gonna last, but what do you think?
I was kind of along the same lines as you. I didn't really care about the Shield or whatever getting back together. I really hate that every time they talk about it. To me, it sounds like some romantic comedy. Or like, will they, won't they? I was like, this, all right, whatever. But I was kind of sad to see Sheamus and Cesaro lose it. But them chasing titles was always fun as well. So I'm curious to see where Sheamus and Cesaro go. Are they gonna automatically get a rematch, or they're gonna build this up a little bit more for No Mercy and see where it goes from there?
Yeah, I'd like to see maybe if they have like some like not like a clean victory or anything. There's like some kind of dispute that happens in No Mercy that at Survivor Series, it's like a triple threat between them, the Hardys, and Rollins and Ambrose. That'd be pretty cool to see. Maybe like a TLC match or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And I know you can't get enough of the Hardys, so you'd love to see that match too. And maybe throw in Al Anderson Gallows. I don't know. They could do something. Joe's saying Sheamus has to film a movie, so that's why he lost, possibly.
Okay. It all makes sense now.
The next match was the United States champion AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. So this is like the back and forth rivalry that's been happening. It's a great rivalry. We enjoy it. I think I've been enjoying it. I think you've been too. Seeing the only thing I don't like is the title going back and forth, but I guess that's the only way to keep the rivalry going. Because if once you win that second match after you win the title, like that guy doesn't have a rematch clause, right? So I don't know why Shane McMahon was a guest referee. I guess that happened on SmackDown. I don't know. I haven't been watching it, so
yeah, it happened during what was it? I think it's Kevin Owens rematch. When AJ went for the pin. Oh yeah, no. Kevin knocked AJ into the ref. Refs they're so fragile.
Yeah.
And when AJ went for the pin, the ref kind of had his head down, but was still counting. So on the other side of the ref, you didn't see Kevin had his shoulder up, and then so Kevin went backstage, was going ballistic on Brian and Shane, saying saying the ref, you guys just screwed me over, or whatever. And then so Daniel Bryan was like, oh yeah, you're right. We saw the tape. You did have your shoulder up. And then he said, we're going to choose a referee whatever. I forget what he said, but he made Shane the special guest referee. That was why.
Yeah, so it started out with like they started like wailing on each other right from the start. A very fast-paced action, which Owens doesn't like. So Owens was able to slow the pace and use his brawling nature. I think he hit a cannonball, but he couldn't get the pin. And they kept reversing each other, which was pretty cool. And then we see Owens hit the powerbomb after Shane took a 450 for him. So it's like Owens is on the ground. AJ Styles went up for the springboard 450, went for it, but Owens pulled Shane over him, so Shane took it, and then Owens. I mean, that got like AJ Styles upset, and AJ Styles was distracted, so that way Owens was able to hit the pop-up power bomb, but Styles kicked out and locked in the calf crusher. Then this caused like Shane McMahon to fly out of the ring because I think after he got out of the calf crusher from like touching the ropes or something, Kevin Owens pushed AJ into Shane. Shane got hit, flew out of the ring because, like I said, like I always say, when they put on the referee shirt, their HP goes down. So, and Shane's used to taking bumps. Like he's like a wrestler. So I don't get it.
Yeah, actually, one of my favorite lines is KO yelling in his face like you falling off from buildings and gotten right back up. Like, exactly, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, exactly. So like so Shane's outside, knocked out outside the ring. AJ puts on another calf crusher. Owens taps out, doesn't matter because Shane's outside. So once again, AJ gets frustrated, goes over to Shane saying, "What's wrong with you?" That causes Owens to gain the momentum because he hits Shane AJ while he's not paying attention. Owens hits a massive superplex, but he couldn't get the 3 count. Styles gains the second win and unleashes a flurry of blows and hits a Styles clash, but Owens kicks out. AJ goes for phenomenal forearm, but Owens counters with the pop-up powerbomb and gets a 2 count. Then AJ hits a Pele and then another phenomenal forearm, and this time he hits the Styles clash and he retains the title. So I think it was a good match. Like, I didn't have anything. These guys work really well together, and I'd like to see AJ stay right here until he eventually gets a title shot against maybe Jinder Mahal at Survivor Series or something, but I want Jinder to hold it until Royal Rumble because I want to see him as a champion when I go. So anything else about this match for you?
Yeah, as usual, these two know how to work well with each other. So I was expecting a good match, and that's what I got.
From then on, like, I was really weirded out by like the length of the next match. The next match was for the WWE Championship with Jinder Mahal fought Shinsuke Nakamura, and I think even the audience was in shock after what happened, because like the match was very like lackadaisical and slow. It was just a lot of like strong style, which we want to see. It was great strong style seen by Shinsuke, and Mahal is very perplexed by Nakamura's unorthodox style. He used his strong style all throughout, and like Jinder had no answer. And the only time Jinder was able to take control is like when they got distraction from the Singh brothers. So whenever the Singh brothers jumped up on the apron, Nakamura would get distracted. Jinder would come in and get some control, but then Nakamura was able to gain momentum again by using his strong style, like knees and kicks and elbows and all that kind of stuff. And then the Singh brothers got into the ring this time. Nakamura disposed of them so easily, but this gave Jinder Mahal a few seconds to hit the Colossus and pick up the victory. And that was like such a short match. I feel like maybe they're running out of time. I know when you're on the W Network, you have as much time as you want because you're not locked into a certain time. But like, I felt they wanted to just move this match along, and it didn't have as much meaning. But that, for all those Shinsuke fans, like, they saw a lot of Shinsuke, but they didn't get the payoff for it. You know, and I really want to see, Jinder stay champion until Royal Rumble for selfish reasons, because I love Jinder and I gotta have, the Brown support, Brown pride. And I don't know, man. Like, yeah, Joe's even saying that the Singh brothers are the best part of Jinder's reign. But I want Jinder to eventually get like a clean win. I know he beat Cena. I mean, no, he actually hasn't beat anybody cleanly, but still, I want to see him get a clean win eventually. But really, I want to see him like show that he's a true champion as opposed to just like winning cheaply, which is what a heel is supposed to do. But there have been heels who won like semi cleanly as opposed to what Jinder's only winning because of this kind of thing. But yeah, and all those fans I saw, like, they had those faces like, oh man, Shinsuke just lost to Jinder Mahal. Like, they couldn't believe it. The Jinder's the real deal now, man. Like, I hope they stay with him for a while. I don't know. What'd you think of this match?
I liked it. I'm willing to you guys. I don't want to see Jinder keep winning because of the Singh brothers, because I think he has the talent and the moves to be a heel champion and still getting the win clean or whatever, or at least getting the win on his own. Because he's shown consistently that he has the capacity to do so. And they actually let Shinsuke do a little bit more what Shinsuke likes to do with some of his strong style, more than what I've seen in the matches that he's been in on SmackDown Live. So I wanted Jinder to win, but I don't really know, like, what does this mean for Shinsuke? Like, is he going back to mid card? Do they not know what to do with him anymore? I don't know. I just hope that doesn't mean that. I know Shinsuke. Him alone he has the charisma and the moveset to just do whatever, but a lot of times WWE hasn't really proven that they know what to do with characters like him.
But like I was saying for Shinsuke, I think he should, like, I said this a few episodes ago of AfterMat, saying like he shouldn't have got, like, I don't like that he got a championship shot right away. I said like he should work his way up, like go for the US title first, him versus AJ. Everyone wants to see that, but maybe they're trying to save that for him versus AJ for the real championship. So like he should have just worked his way up. I don't know how they could have done it, but I feel like it was too soon and stuff like that. Yeah, Joe's saying that Vince is not happy with Nakamura. I know he was unhappy with Nakamura when he did the exploder suplex and hurt Cena, but Cena didn't care. Cena's like, hey, it happens sometimes. And another thing Joe also says, maybe a Hell in a Cell match would help whoever fought Jinder Mahal get a clean result. But hey, a Punjabi prison match didn't, so I wouldn't see that. Yeah. So there's a rumored match for WrestleMania Nakamura versus Styles. That's the stage that you should see it on. That should be the stage for it. Will it be for a championship? Maybe they'll do the same thing that they did for Rock Cena. First time they fight, no championship. Next time they'll repeat it again, and it'll actually be for a championship. We'll see. But yeah,
actually, I hope. Last bit of my notes is that I thought it was really cool that you got to hear from the Indian and the Japanese announcers, near the beginning of the match. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they did that for Jinder Mahal last time, but they didn't have the Japanese, obviously, because he was fighting Randy Orton. So, but yeah, that was cool. That was cool that like they had the Japanese announcers and the Hindi announcers. So that was awesome. I like seeing that. Yes, now we're up to our main event already, which is a fatal four-way match between the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar against Strowman, Samoa Joe, and Roman Reigns. And I really, really enjoy this match. I think it's my favorite match of the night. Like, I always say when they put too many people in a ring, it's always like brawl out, and then like two people fight, and then like two people fall out, and it's always one-on-one. But the way they just put bang, 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 bang action in this match was like, as soon as one person came out, someone's already ready, or someone's going for a move, another person came from behind. And that's what these matches should be. Like, not just like two people falling out of the ring and laying on the ground for like 17 minutes and having two people go at it, and then the other two people come in, and like, I really, really like this match. They did this one right in all aspects of it. There's one thing that I heard during the match that I will get to towards the end because of rumors and stuff. But the match started out with Joe attacking Lesnar, which took off after their what is the last pay-per-view, Battleground or whatever they had for the Raw, whatever the last pay-per-view was for the Raw. It was Samoa Joe versus never mind, I know what it is. Great Balls of Fire. It was Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. So they took off right after that, where they fought each other. So Joe immediately went after Lesnar, and just like Battleground, Reigns and Strowman went at it. And yeah, Joe said it too. Great Balls of Fire. So Strowman like was dominating. I think Brock suplexed pretty much everyone in the ring, and then he suplexed Reigns and Joe. And then Braun got back into the ring, and they squared off, and Braun just started dominating Lesnar. You don't ever see that besides the Goldberg thing, for Goldberg, obviously. Mm-hmm. But for like Strowman, a fairly newer guy, to dominate Lesnar the way he did was crazy. Then he throws Joe out. Then he throws Brock out of the ring. Joe locks him and Lesnar in the coquina clutch. Then we see freaking Roman Reigns come out of nowhere, and Joe jump out of the way, and Brock gets speared through the barricade, which is great. And then he picks up Joe and slams him into the announcer's table, which doesn't break it. Then Strowman comes through and clears up everybody, dispatches Joe. Then he picks up Brock Lesnar and does a running power slam through one announcer table. Then Roman hits a drive-by on Braun, but is leveled by Joe by a suicide dive. And this is continuous action. There's no stop. This is going and going and going. Then Strowman gets back up, picks up the announcer's chair and throws it over the announcer's table, hits Joe and knocks him out. And then Braun picks up Brock Lesnar again, puts him through another running power slam through another announcer table. Then he takes a third announcer table and flips it over onto Brock Lesnar, thus like pretty much eliminating him from the match. Lesnar is medically evacuated, and Strowman hits both Joe and Reigns with the steel steps. He just picks him up and starts hitting him with it. Reigns, then they get back into the ring, and because Braun threw the steps into the ring, Reigns actually picks up the steps and hits Braun with it, and hits him 3 times, and then it sends Braun out of the ring, and he actually threw the ring steps towards Braun over. So that was so dangerous. Luckily, it missed him. Like, it hit the floor, then might have hit him. But if that hit him directly, those heavy steps, like, that would have been nuts. I don't know. Would Vince get mad at him? I don't know. That was crazy, though. Then Joe slides into the ring and tries to picks up a sneaky pin, but Roman kicks out. Joe locks Reigns in the Coquina clutch, but Braun gets back in and hits a double chokeslam on both of them. Then Brock Lesnar comes back from the back, saying like, "Get away! I'm gonna go fight." And he gets back into the ring. He spears Braun, then suplexes Reigns and Joe. But then Braun comes back and attacks him. Then Reigns comes back in and Superman punches all 3 of them and spears Brock. And this is like no nonstop. There wasn't like people laying on the ground for like 5 minutes. As soon as one person got hit, another person would come in right in and hit them too. And then Brock kicks out of the spear. And then Reigns attempts another spear, but it's put into a Coquina clutch. Braun hits a running power slam on Joe, but only gets a 2 count. Reigns hits a Superman punch on Brock and Braun. Then Braun hits a running power slam on Reigns, and Lesnar breaks up the pin. Then Braun goes for another running power slam on Brock, but Roman hits him with a spear. Joe throws Roman out of the ring and locks a Coquina clutch on Brock. Brock hits that 5 on Joe, but the pin is broken up by Roman. Then Joe hits Then Roman hits 3 Superman punches on Brock and sets up for the spear. But Brock counters the spear with an F5 and actually gets a clean victory, 1, 2, 3. So this match is nonstop, pure action, great spots on table bumps, just throwing a table over the steel steps. Nothing was done wrong, in my opinion. I felt like everyone showed their moves off, and it was just great. But when you see big guys fight, it's usually a slow pat, as you saw from Big Cass and Big Show kind of thing. But this went full on, and it was awesome, nonstop, pedal to the metal. So I'm gonna go to you for your thoughts on this. How you felt about all this?
Only notes I took was controlled chaos, and it was great. For the build up that they've been doing for these 4 guys, this was such a great payoff. And when it comes to these 4 dominant competitors, this is what you wanted to see. And for once, WWE did not disappoint us with these colossal big men matches. It was really, like you said, non-stop action from the start, and it was really great. I kind of wanted Joe to win, but that's all right. I get why Brock would, because you don't want to tell people he's leaving. I don't know. That might turn people off. So overall, I was really happy with this match. It is one of my favorite matches of the night. May not be the favorite. I'm still not sure, but it was a really good match. It was a good, and also a good ending for the SummerSlam pay-per-view.
Yeah, I really didn't have high hopes for this match, because we know when you put more than one, 2 people, like I say, into a match, so it's 2 people laying out. And especially when you put big guys in the ring, they can't keep going over and over and over for that long. But this match, like you said, did not disappoint. Non-stop, controlled chaos, as you said. It was crazy. It was awesome. Joe in the chat also says, this match was right, got it right in every single way, and the right person came out as the victor. So I really enjoyed this match. So we're going to do our overall grades, and then we have a little to talk about NXT. We talk about what's going to happen for the future, But let's go into what your low point was, your high point, and your overall grade.
Then you said you had something about some.
Oh yeah. So yeah, thank you for reminding me. So when Reigns is alone in the ring for a moment, and I guess he's going for another spear, we had the Undertaker chance going on, because people said that Undertaker was there in New York for the weekend, so maybe he was supposed to come out. I would have not liked to see him come out, but it was pretty cool to see that the fans were so smart, and obviously this is the fans that we're all takeover and all that. So So thank you for reminding me. Yeah. I heard a lot of Undertaker chants too.
I thought that's what they were saying, but I wasn't quite sure. And he was there because later on Instagram I saw Michelle McCool taking pictures with Natalia, so they were there probably backstage or something like that.
I don't see him coming back. So go ahead with your low point, your high point, and then your overall grade.
Low point's gonna be that Big Cass and Big Show match. Because 1, I didn't care, and 2, this did nothing for those 3 guys all involved. It just made it. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. High points. This one's hard because it was a couple really good matches. I might have to give it to New Day and Usos, because that was just a very good match, especially when you're not expecting pre-show matches to be good. You're expecting them to just get things over with or whatever. But I think that might be my high point, tied with the Fatal 4-Way, because both of those matches were really good and had me very interested. And overall grade, I'll probably go with a maybe B+. All
right. So for me, my low point was same thing, Big Cass, Big Show. I love the Big Show, but unfortunately that match did nothing for me. It was boring, monotonous. I really didn't enjoy it. My high point was probably the Fatal 4-Way match. I did like you. I really did enjoy the New Day Usos, but I had such low hopes for that. Not low hopes, but I really didn't see anything really happening for the Fatal 4-Way match. So when it really delivered and then some, it took it for me. That was definitely the high point. And for me, I felt like SummerSlam carried the momentum from NXT TakeOver the previous night, which is great. And I'm usually strict with my grades, but this time I'm probably gonna give it an A-. This really was a great pay-per-view. I had nothing wrong saying anything from the even the Big Cass thing. I didn't enjoy it, but obviously they're gonna have one throwaway match in there, even though you might want to say the Randy Orton match was throwaway. But other than that, everything was great. The Randy Orton match did even though it was a few seconds, I still think it was better than the Big Cass Big Show match, and because that's you wanted that one move that everyone always wants to see for Orton. So, and we got it, and it was really well pulled off. So overall A-, and I never really give it any scores that high. So this was a really good pay-per-view. I really did enjoy it.
I also wanted to say, I guess I don't know if it was because it was in Brooklyn or not, but or because it's one of the big pay-per-views, but the crowd both for Saturday and Sunday night were they were amazing. They were They were doing all the chants. They seemed to be with most of all the matches. If not, they were just doing their own thing and still being involved somehow. And like you're the one who actually pointed out to me when they were playing with the beach ball and Cesaro just dumped into the crowd and like just ripped it apart. Like, no, pay attention to this match that's going on. So it was like everyone was just there having a good time. And also, I think you said you skipped over it, but a lot of the promo packages for the matches were really good for this pay-per-view. Even if I didn't care for the match itself, the promo package that they put before it were also pretty neat to see as well.
Yeah, so it was just great 2 nights. I think we'll see how the momentum carries into Raw and SmackDown, but I really did enjoy the pay-per-view after a few. Obviously, for Raw, Great Balls of Fire wasn't that good for me, and Battleground I thought was all right, but this really stepped it up for all of them. Like great matches, great results too, and some of those feuds are going to continue, and I'm going to enjoy seeing that. I know Joe in the chat says that if Undertaker does come back for one last match, it'll probably be against John Cena, and it'll be interesting to see who wins that match. I don't know. Yep. What are you saying?
That's I'd be interested in that. That's one of the biggest players John Cena hasn't faced. He hasn't faced Undertaker, I think, since 2004, 2005. So that would be interesting to see.
We have a new viewer in the chat. I think his name is Francois, or I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure, but sorry, I don't speak French, but I see you say SummerSlam in there in French, but yeah. So welcome.
Hello, viewer.
Yeah, we are actually just wrapping up. So just to go through the theme of the weekend, we saw Takeover, and then obviously last night was SummerSlam. And from the results from Takeover, or just from what we saw at Takeover, who do you think is going to go over? So, like I said, I think I probably see Bobby Roode going, definitely. Maybe the Authors of Pain, but I think they should probably, like you were saying, they're probably a little still too raw to go back, to go over to the WWE. But I definitely can see Bobby Roode going over. So, like, who do you think from Takeover? So that's my guess is Bobby Roode. But who do you think from Takeover do you see moving? Because apparently they're going to have a roster shakeup soon.
Yeah, for me, it's between Roode and Asuka. For Asuka, there's really no one left on the NXT roster for her to really face with. I guess maybe some. Well, you probably might not know them, but like Ruby Rose, or I forgot the one from Sanity. I forgot her name that quickly. Them two, because
Nikki Cross.
Yeah, Nikki Cross. They seem to be able to hang. Well, for Peyton Royce and Billie Kay can too, but she's already had used all of them already. So I am kind of ready for her to come up to the main roster and just do what she does, because we did see in the ring 3 of the 4 horsemen were there, and she was taunting them. Yep. So hopefully that means something down the line. And Bobby he's just a superstar. He's so charismatic, and it's any platform he's on, he's going to bring it. So I think he's ready for a come up as well.
Joe is saying that he sees Bobby Roode and Ember Moon going up. He doesn't see Asuka going, because what I heard also too was that Triple H needs a big draw name, and Asuka's a big draw name for people to go out to SmackDown. And he thinks the iconic ones, which are Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, are probably going to SmackDown. So that's cool. That's pretty much it. Like, I mean, we had a great weekend. I thought Takeover was great, and SmackDown continued it. So, any final thoughts about this weekend?
I'm just hoping they can take this momentum and bring it forward to either some new feuds, or let's increase some of the feuds we have going on right now. And I'm kind of pretty excited to see what happens and see what's going to go on this week.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to tell me what happens on NXT, because now I'm more interested in it, now that with all those returns that we saw at TakeOver. Not that I knew who those people were, but it's going to be cool to see what happens eventually. So where can we find you? And where can we find you? What have you been up to?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Delisha_Renee. That's DELIFHA_RENEE. You can find me here on AfterMat recapping our pay-per-views, and you can also find me on our affiliate channel of Odd Shape channel on all the shows going out through the week. Tonight we're doing soap opera questions, space operas. Space operas. Sorry, I'm channeling Raul with the soap opera. And tomorrow on Night's Watch, and you can also find me in the chats for all that, and then writing articles for the Odd Shape channel website as well.
Yeah, you can find me at Virenja Deja Vu on Twitter, as well as at after_Matt for this website. And I also do, for this show, I mean, and I also do the Night's Watch on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. So check that out if you're a Game of Thrones fan. You can find me at Night's Watch 2 for that. And I'm guessing the next time, I also write the Aftermat report card for Odd Shape Press as well. So that's on oddshapechannel.com. So that's already, I sent that to be uploaded. So hopefully it gets uploaded soon so you can check out the actual detailed things about that. Other than that, the next time you'll see us is for the No Mercy recap, which is another Raw brand pay-per-view. And that's going to be on September. The pay-per-view itself is on September 24th. So the next time you'll see us is September 25th, I'm assuming, on Monday night for the Aftermat. So until then, we have the Glamazon Delisha.
Yeah.
And myself, the People's Sham Cal. And we will see you later. So thank you very much, guys. Later.